This is my LG refrigerator freezer combination. I bought it in 2011. It's now 2018, so I've had it 7 years. It's been a really good refrigerator. I've had no problems with it to this point. But I did notice that it started to leak some water down here. It was starting to pool outside by that foot there. And I noticed that inside the freezer, when I opened the bottom drawer, I noticed that there was ice building up in here. And furthermore, there was little trickles, and you can kind of still see the remains of those trickles there, dripping down from this evaporation, or this condensation tray here. And it's supposed to drain down there, but there was ice had built up in this tray. So as you know, the refrigerator cycled, and sometimes it goes through a defrost cycle, it would melt and run down the back of this, and eventually it would just build up to the point where it would get on the floor. So I don't know whether it was maybe we left the refrigerator freezer open too long and too much of this melted, and then it refroze when we close it, and it plugged that little gap hole there. But there's, on the back side of it, I'll show you, there's a little drain hose here, this little gray one, that comes down from the bottom. And I noticed when I came around the back of this, it was dry in the bottom of it, and I put my finger under here like this and, you know, moved it around, and something plopped out of there, and then all this water, which is pretty significant, wound up in this evaporation tray back here. So now I don't know what caused it, but I did notice that we had water pooling and ice freezing in here, and then these trickles on the back, so I had to take that off. Now this is the panel here itself, and I noticed that the water would trickle like up against the wall down here. This is the panel that you have to remove in order to get to that. First you have to actually remove the drawers and the rails for the drawers, and also there's a little piece right here. I'm not sure what it is or what it does, but this piece goes here, and it just it's got a couple little clips on it that you just pop it out. So you have to take off that, as well as the legs, or the rails. Now you have to remove the drawers. When you pull the drawers out to the end, you can pull them out and lift them and draw them towards you and upwards, and they'll pull off of these rails here. These are attached to, these are what are attached to the side of the compartment of your refrigerator freezer, or your freezer, excuse me. So these, oh, there's some right here, go, you know, they slide into them, and you just depress this tab here and pull them all the way out. You just extend this rail all the way out as far as it'll go. It'll expose this little tab. You push this tab and you can slide the rail right out. And then when you do that, it exposes these screw holes here. Let's see what, yeah, there's one there. This one is just some dot there, and then there's another one down here. Once you get those off, it exposes the rest of this. And now you don't have to take, I took them off, I didn't need to, but I took these four and this center one off. There's a fan behind this and another one I believe behind here, and I took those off. You don't need to. It is kind of a tight fit, and if you notice, there's like a little compartment up here. This little thermometer sits in there. Now there's a little drawer that it comes in, and it is tucked up underneath of this little styrofoam. It's you know, it doesn't hurt it to take it off, but it sits right in there. And then this will go into this, you know, here. Now when you pull it off, you just need to stick a screwdriver right there, and it'll pop on out. And then you remove the thermostat from this, and then you'll be able to take that back panel off. Now I suggest that you get your finger, the only place there really is to grab it is right here. If you can fit your finger into this little hole, you can get this corner peeled up and get it started that way. But you have to be careful. Once you get it peeled out, you'll get down to where this connector is. Now that connector is for these two supplies for the two fans back here. See, okay, that's an impeller, that's a fan. But so you'll only be able to get it off, you know, that far before you have to detach them. You know, and then, you know, once you get it off, you'll be able to see all that stuff there. Now I did have, there was something that was in there, there's some black goop. I think it came from this thing here. This thing was actually unwound, and you can kind of see through it there. But I went through with a small screwdriver, and I took all of these looks like caulk or silicone or something like that. But I went through and I took all that out. I'm sure that can't be good for the that coil. But so yeah, that's it.